Hello and welcome to this recording where I showcase an add-on that has been designed by Alice Keeler. If you do a Google search for the word paragraph and Alice Keeler, you're probably going to find the very first or one of the very first web links bringing you to this blog post where Alice showcases exactly how to use this specific add-on. And so to get started, you would click on this web link right here. And when you click on the web link, you're going to need to click right here where it says make a copy. So you can't make any adjustments to her original, but you certainly can have a copy. I'll close that tab because I have it available right over here. And then step by step, she walks you through the process of how to click at the top for add-ons and then pull the paragraph followed by start. I'm not going to read this out loud to you. I'm just going to model and demonstrate what it looks like up here. So when she showcases at the top of the screen where it says add-ons, I have some other add-ons that I've already placed in here. If you don't have any, then pull the paragraph rather might be your very first one. And then you're going to choose the start button over here. When you choose the start button, then over here on the right, you're going to see this space up here. And Alice is essentially walking you through the instructions so that you know how this works. So to get started, you're going to choose a folder. So let me preface this by saying, I assume you have a Google Classroom, and I assume you have students who are added into that Google Classroom. And I assume that those students have actually written a paragraph of some kind or multiple paragraphs. Maybe they've submitted an essay to you. So all of these things are essential for this to work. So I'm going to click right here where it says choose a folder. After I click choose a folder, this pop-up shows up and I'm supposed to select a folder. So because I'm pulling from Google Classroom, it's important that I choose my classroom folder. So I might have 85 different folders in here, but what I need to start with is my classroom folder because Google designed a classroom folder for me in order to store each of those assignments that the children work on. So in a very delightful, tidy fashion, I have a Google Classroom folder. And no matter how many times I click that, it's possibly not going to let me in because I'm actually already in the Google Classroom folder. So I won't painfully go through the process of choosing that all over again. So when you're inside the Google Classroom folder, you might only have 2 or 3 Google Classrooms. They're going to show up at the top for you. I'm going to pull specifically from my second grade classroom. So I'm going to click twice on the second grade classroom. When I'm inside the second grade classroom, I need to specifically choose an assignment where there are paragraphs connected to it. And it's not just a Google slide presentation or it's images for a Mother's Day project or those sorts of things. I'm going to click twice right here where it says opinion essay. I take that back. Hold on, I'm only going to click one time. So if you click twice, you're not going to see the select button illuminated, and then you're going to have to go back one level. I've done this a few times. So just choose that one folder and then click the select button. A little time is going to pass, and behind this window, all of this information is populating on the screen right behind me. So these are different paragraphs that they put in during the month of February when we were studying Martin Luther King. And I can meticulously go through and read through this content and kind of get a feel for whether or not I'm satisfied with that child's writing style, if there are too many errors and those sorts of things. On the screen just a little bit ago, the instructions said that I'm supposed to provide feedback in column C. But if I didn't pay attention or I moved too quickly, over here on the right-hand side, it is stating that column C is the place where I provide feedback. So I can be slightly generic in my response, and I can just give everyone the same feedback, or I can be very specific and then provide different students with different feedback. So Maybe I'm going to say, well done, great job, keep up the great work, keep up, and then enter. So here I am at column C, just in case you didn't know that, column A, column B, column C, they're identified by letter. And I can click one time, and then if I click on that bottom right corner inside that box, here we go, the plus symbol, not the hand. In an art class, my professor said, oh, they're marching ants that are on display right there. Essentially, if you look very closely, there's a black dotted line that you see around the perimeter of this entire space. So it lets me know how far I've gone down. When I let go, it's just going to copy this and then continue to put it down. I don't have to be generic and repeat the same exact response for every single child. I am proud of you. Your writing is growing. I can sense your determination, whatever, any of those sorts of things. I can provide corrective feedback. A few of your sentences didn't start out with well-developed topic sentences. I didn't see the supporting details that went along with that. Whatever it is, you can come in here and make the adjustments as you see fit. So I'm going to come up here, remove that last sentence. Another strategy for copying and pasting content is Control-C on your keyboard, Control-V, Control-C again, Control-V, whatever makes you feel most successful. If you just want to slide all the way down and populate everyone's box with the same thing, that's totally up to you. Now, over here on the right-hand side, when I click the button that says Send Feedback, it's going to verify that I want all of that feedback to go at the top of the document. I just click yes. I don't know what the other alternative is. I don't know if you click no, if it can be at the bottom, but I'm just going to go ahead and click yes. I don't want my children, my students, to have to go to the very bottom of the document to figure out what my feedback is. I want it up at the top where they can find it easily. Maybe you want it at the bottom so it never interferes with the flow and the sense of the document. So when you print it out easily, your comments don't interfere with that printing process. I'm going to click the word yes one time. Nothing magical happens on the screen. When I head over to my Google Drive, and then I head over to the classroom folder, and then inside the classroom folder, I locate the second grade class where I specifically provided this feedback. So I'm going to double click on my classroom folder. I'm going to navigate down to the very bottom of my folders because that's where my second grade classroom is located. So these are all the classes that I co-teach in. Second grade folder is right here. I'm going to click on it 2 times to open it. This might not be the original folder where I was working with the pool essays. I now have you in this other assignment instead, where the students were able to do animal research. And in this view where you see all the thumbnails of everyone's progress, I don't expect you to be able to identify, but there's a thin line at the top of each one of these essays. And up at the very top is where the student feedback is located. So I'm going to click on this essay right here. And then up at the very top, you will see how it says instructor's feedback, and then it says keep up the great work. I am proud of you. So these particular students were writing a research paper about animal research, and then I was able to provide them with some feedback. So it didn't take me 2.5 hours. It didn't take me a red pen to record a little bit of feedback for every single child. Certainly reading through that content to provide careful feedback is going to take you a little bit of time, but in order to get that information into every single document easily without having to open every single document individually, this particular resource may be highly beneficial for you. I hope that you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching.